Hey everyone, how you doing today? I just wanted to shoot this video real quick because I'm right now looking at properties for a client that is coming to town from Florida, looking to potentially lease or purchase a property. And I wanted to kind of show you guys, my process and the way I do it. So I figured I'd just, record this because I want to, let me just read this email. Okay, there it goes. So I wanted to walk you through. So essentially, I circled the area that I'm looking in, and I hit, for sale industrial properties between 5 to 7,000 square feet, right? So that was the first thing. And then I was very clear in my parameters of vacant and owner user properties. So essentially what that means is I'm not looking for a property that's currently occupied by a tenant and that comes attached with the sale of the property. So you don't want to essentially buy a commercial property if you're intending on, moving your business there and using it for your purposes. You don't want a tenant to be attached to that property unless your intention, excuse me, specifically is to, keep the tenant in place and work with that tenant, and collecting the rents and, just becoming a passive owner of the property. So those are good opportunities as well. But my specific intent right now is to find a property that my client who has a business, a distribution business of organic products, wants to purchase the property to move into it and utilize it for his own business. So that's a completely different, from an investor. This is not an investment. This is an owner user, they call it. So that's essentially what I'm looking for. So what I did that, went ahead, enter in those parameters, and then these are the results that came up. Now, I've been looking at these properties already, and I've been going through them, and I identified a couple of them, but the catch is that this guy's got a 53-foot truck that comes in to the property, once in a while and has merchandise that they want to unload from the truck and store it in the warehouse. He doesn't necessarily have to have a true loading dock, but he does have to have an ability to load and unload that truck. So when those trucks come in, where are they going to go, right? It's not as easy as it look, guys, just to say, hey, find a warehouse and it's all easy, right? It's not all good. It's a very complicated process depending on what the user's needs are. So that's kind of why I'm in business and that's why I do what I do. So I came across, let's just start here, right? So one of the things that I know my client is going to look for is good ceiling height. If you notice that this one has the loading door, but also has very good ceiling height, has a pretty good clear span warehouse, meaning not too many obstacles in the way. This one's full of crap, but it's not a big deal. So here is what the site plan looks like. So essentially, this would be your fenced yard. This would be, the fence would be right here with the dotted line. This is Business Center Drive. So this is a street. This is the driveway. And if you look at the length of this, just by looking at it, you can probably tell that it would be able to accommodate that size of a truck. This is your trash bin enclosure. This is your landscape, 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 right? You got restrooms. You got two restrooms there. These are offices, right? Probably a break room. And then you've got the warehouse area. As you notice, the warehouse area is quite large in, comparison to the entire building. So the what they call office to warehouse ratio is pretty good. So let's keep looking. Let's see what else we've got here. So let's take an aerial view and take into account here what we're looking at. All right, so here is the aerial view. Let's see, San Gabriel River Trail, Gladstone, Arrow Highway. Okay, here's Arrow Highway, and here is the building. All right, so let's see what other main highways we're looking at here. Arrow Highway, zoom out even further. Okay, here's the 605 and here's the 210. Okay, I know where we are now. So Arrow Highway, you should get off of the 605, you go down Arrow Highway, you got to drive down a bit this way, and you go up this street, and there it is. All right, so we know where we are. Now here's the concerning part. The tricky part is, okay, so if you get a truck that comes up through here, right, and it turns in here, can it get into this driveway? That's the question. So the easy answer is okay. So if it turns, it's going to be on this side and it's going to pull over here, somewhere back here, blocking the street. A good thing it's a dead end, so that helps. And then it's going to attempt to back in to this area. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see if there's another semi truck in this area. And if you look carefully, you see none. You don't see any semis. It looks like some kind of school bus there. I don't think that's. So I don't see any semis here. Notice that? That's not a good sign. That tells me that there's probably going to be restrictions from the city on what type of vehicles can come in here and load and unload. Here's the containers. Here's the semis. But look at the difference. This is just a vacant lot. See, these are where the trucks turn around. They have enough room for that. So anyway, just kind of giving you some insight. So let's just, all right, let's just assume that this might work at this one, and we'll just put it to the side. Um, Here's the broker info. I think I've got the brochure here. Here it is. See, this is how you can tell. It's a dead end there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's a possibility it might work. I mean, it may work, may not. Who knows? I mean, the worst thing he can do is pull in here. If he can pull all the way in, and then backing it out is going to be a bitch. So that's going to be tough. Anyway, let's keep going. This side looks pretty good. I like the warehouse. I like the warehouse. Where's the selling info? So they're at $400 a square foot, 2.7 million in the city of Irwindale. Yeah, it's vacant, fenced lot. I mean, it's got some good qualities to it. So, let's move on for a second. Let's just keep going. Let's assume that one more might not work, so we'll keep going. $321. Now I think I've seen this one. I don't know why. I thought that it would be kind of weird for this one. Now I saw this one for lease too. It's got plenty of room. I mean, it's all the way in Riverside. How could it not? It might work. I like the empties on there because that means you can keep plenty of extra merchandise on site as long as it's not perishable goods inside the container that could, go bad if it's too hot. If it's a really hot summer day, then that would be useless. Okay, here's a warehouse at 72. I mean, this one looks promising. I don't know where we're at on it though.